For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Hour number 3, Ready, Set, Bet here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Thank you for being with us here on a Sunday, be it on Sirius Channel 158, our very own VSiN Watch app, YouTube TV, or on terrestrial stations across this great country of ours. Matt Brown, Mike Somich from the largest sportsbook in the world, Circa Resort and Casino. Final hour here as we watch bets go up in flames, and it's okay. It's okay. We had a great day yesterday at the Kentucky Derby.
We did have a great day at the Kentucky Derby. They are not going up in flames, Matt.
Some of them are.
I mean, outside of Pittsburgh, who is already burnt to a crisp. Everything else is looking pretty good right now.
Actually, the Mets have some people on right now.
Yeah, I need positivity from this desk.
Yeah, the Mets have some runs. What, we got 2 on?
2 on.
Oh, 2 on, no out. And you know what that would do? It would be neat if we got a homer.
Yeah, that would be 2 plus 3 is 5.
If I do the math, and then it's over the 4.5. And they're going to the pin. Unfair. No,
Fetty did have 101 pitches.
Okay,
maybe
right.
time.
Unfair. I don't want them going to.
Hey, Twinkies.
Yeah.
You want to take one out of the park right now too? I'd appreciate it.
Oh, we got some good stuff.
2 men on there. I know that would not be great for you because you have Boston.
Yeah,
but I have the over.
Yeah.
So we'll get the runs and then
that's
the Boston
fine.
come back.
Circle back around. Yeah. If we can at least get you there, and then I can come back and then win the way out. It'll be fine. Okay. Let's get to game number 7 here. Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets.
Yes,
this
sir.
is currently 2.5 in favor of the Houston Rockets. Total as low as 205.5, as high as 206.5, though that 206.5 is here in town. So as far as the rest of country books, you can only find a 206. This was 3 yesterday, so we did see some people come in and take some Golden State. We have a low total yet again. How do we see this one breaking down?
Yeah, another game where we were seeing totals in the mid 210s, the 2 teens right there, and now we're sitting here at 205.5.
This one might make a little bit more sense, though.
Yes, because specifically the Rockets' defense and their, at times, lack of offense.
Yeah.
So you could, and we saw a game under 200 in this series. So this one does make a little more sense considering what we've seen. Now, they did go over in Game 6 with that, I believe it was a 212.5 number. They went over in Game 6, so it's still a big adjustment considering what we saw the previous game. I've got a lot of Rockets stuff, Matt, so I'm probably not going to bet this game. However, if I was going to, I would play the Rockets minus the 2.5 here. I bet them to win the series. I bet them to win the Western Conference. So I've got some future value here that I'm rooting for in the Rockets. I like this team at home. I think that they are they're definitely the deeper team of the two. And the question for me is, can the Warriors' ancillary pieces be able to really make buckets in the Game 7 spot on the road? I think the answer is no. I like the Rockets here.
So I laid the 2.5 with the Rockets, and walking through all of this, they've just looked like the better team to me. And the other thing about this, Mike, is there's a lot of assumptions that are going to be made here, guys. So just bear with me here. But if you're the Rockets, isn't your game plan here in this one is like, okay, we cannot let Steph Curry have an epic Game 7 and bury us, right? Like, so at all costs, we go in and we stop Steph Curry, because here's what happens if you can stop Steph Curry from behind the arc. Your other primary scorer in Jimmy Butler is not a 3-point shooter. So, like, if you're going to give him mid-range, okay, you'll trade you'll give him some 2s. Draymond Green can't shoot 3s. Draymond Green passes up wide open 3s because he knows he can't make them. So I think if you can go in and you just sell out on the Curry thing, you might have to just stay in that kind of zone defense and like guard out there by the perimeter, make sure that he doesn't sneak away and whatever. I get all of that. But if you don't let Steph go for 35 in this thing and you force everybody else to be the scorers, you force it to be Jimmy Butler in the mid-range or get into the hole or whatever, maybe get into the free throw line, Draymond has to shoot more than he wants to, instead of just being the rebounder.
Make him a scorer versus like a playmaker.
Yeah. Like, he has to try and score a little bit more. I think that just greatly, greatly favors the Rockets. And I can't imagine a game plan that doesn't at least begin with this. Now, Steve Kerr and them might game plan around that and figure out, because Steve Kerr, well, obviously a wizard and all of this as well. But it feels like to me, that's the path to victory here for this Rockets team. And that is how they at least have to come out and play this game from the get-go. Who knows? Steph might be superhuman. We've seen it before. But if they can limit him even at all a little bit, I'll take my chances with everybody else having to score and beat me. Yeah,
I mean, definitely. If you're able to, Curry averaging 24.3 get points per game in this series, if he scores low 20s, it's going to be hard for Golden State to be able to win this game. They need superhuman Steph Curry here if they're going to be able to get through this Rockets team. And when you look at the scoring depth here, it's Curry and Butler, and then it's Podziemski, and then Moody. It's like, if those guys are the ones that have to beat you, you're going to win this basketball game if you are the Houston Rockets. Now, it's a lot easier to say, hey, let's stop Steph Curry than it is to actually stop Steph Curry. But if there's any team that's built for it, it is this Rockets team. To me, you start yapping at Draymond early. You play a physical game. You want to have a battle if you are the Rockets. You want the rock fight. You don't want the up and down pace. I think they're going to be able to control the pace. I think they're going to be able to assert their will defensively on this Golden State team who, yeah, you got the better top-end talent, but you really don't have the depth on the lineup. Fred VanVleet is going to be huge for the Rockets. He needs to have a big game here if they're going to win. He's been awesome the last 3 games. He needs to go out there and put up 25-plus and drive this Houston offense, because if there is a concern for me, it's, will the Rockets just not score enough?
Yeah. Gary Payton II downgraded to questionable here in this one. Mike, he is dealing with some sort of illness. So, look, he's not a massive contributor, but certainly a rotational guy. I mean, certainly someone that plays minutes for this team. Did get a start actually in that last game. It didn't go too well for them, but he did get a start in that one. You know about these illnesses, sometimes they make their way through the locker room.
I hate it when you see illness for that exact reason. Yeah. It's like, you don't know if he's the only one. He's missing. Is anyone else feeling it? Yeah. Is this a problem from a team perspective? Because these guys are spending every minute of the day together when you're in the playoffs.
And that's the thing with this is, so even if he plays, right, obviously not 100%, whatever it is, it was whatever he's dealing with was enough where they felt like they had to update the injury report because he actually might miss. So he's not going to be 100%. So what if a guy that you had as a part of your rotation, they're a big part of your rotation, instead of playing the 20, 22, 23, 24 minutes or something, ends up playing more like 12, 14, 60. You got to go get minutes from someone else.
You do. And he's averaging 16 minutes in the series. So that like, if you lose those 16 minutes, it's where do they come from? I will say this, it's a game 7. I'm guessing you're really leaning on your big guys here. Like Curry's going to play. He's averaging 37 in the series. He's probably playing 40 plus tonight. Butler's averaging 31.6. He's probably playing 40 plus tonight, right?
I can't imagine that Steph might play
48.
Except like the last minute of
the extended
second,
breaks,
whatever.
Yeah.
Like it would not surprise me if he's 45 plus.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked either. So in game 7, to me, not as big of an issue, but obviously you want all hands on deck here.
Yeah, and if you're looking, guys, just how this breaks down from a prop perspective, if you're looking to play, Steph is 27.5 right now. Butler's at 24.5. Sengun is sitting at 21.5, 16.5 for VanVleet. Green is at 15.5. Amon Thompson is at 13.5. And everybody else for the rest of the game is at 11.5 or shorter. If you look up there at Steph at 27.5, Mike, I think it's fair. It's elevated for the reason we just said, because he very well might play 45, 46 minutes in this game if at all possible. I think if you're backing, can you say that it's a correlated play? That if you'd like the Warriors in this, you should probably also be betting Steph over 27.5? Because is there a world that exists where Steph doesn't score 28 points and they win this game?
Probably not. Do you like the over on the 27.5? Would you rather play over 4.5 threes? Does he get to 28 without hitting 5 threes?
Right. It's like how many times does he get to the line? Right. It's what it comes like how many times does he get to the line?
Yeah. And I know 4.5, obviously, a very big number, juice to the over minus 140. But I don't see how he gets to 28 without 5 threes.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler, I think, is the interesting one here, too, where if you look at 24.5 points, I don't think that there is a unlike Steph, where we say, okay, the path to victory for the Warriors, Steph has to score 28 points. Jimmy Butler sitting at 24.5. I don't think it's as easy for us to say, oh, if they win, he's over, or if they lose, he's under. Because, like I said, they might can lose this game and him still get here because they focus so much attention on Curry that Butler is the guy that's doing the scoring and stuff. So where I do believe there's some correlation here to Curry and the Warriors win, I think there's less so with Butler.
Yeah, well, and if you are focusing on Curry, Butler feels like he's going to get those looks. He's going to be able to get the ball inside. He's going to end up at the free throw line with his little herky-jerky stuff.
And they still might lose.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And they still may not win because you don't get the points you need from Curry. Interesting, both the players sitting at 27.5 with Curry, 24.5 with Butler, both juiced to the under. Minus 125 to the under on both of them, minus 105 to the over.
It is going to be, I mean, honestly, though.
It'll be fun.
By
the way, this is the second.
Very much looking forward to this.
Second game of the night.
Yes.
We do have a game one that's going 3 hours before this one starts.
Yeah, we'll talk some Pacers and Cavs, obviously, when we come back here on the other side. But, man, this is just again, 2.5 right now in favor of the Rockets. 205.5 is our total. I think the Warriors win it outright, about plus 115 there on the money line. I did go ahead and lay it with the Rockets. I just think there's more paths to victory here for this Rockets team, where I think it's pretty clear what it is for the Warriors, which is, if Steph is Steph and does what he does whenever he is superhuman, they win the game. But outside of that, I think then you force them out of what they feel comfortable doing. And if that's the case, then I think it starts to lean the advantage towards the Rockets. So I will go with the team that I feel like has more outs than the team that doesn't.
Yeah, I think if you look at this box score and the Warriors win, I think you see 60 between Butler and Curry combined. Yeah. That's the minimum. And if it's not there, they're in trouble.
Yeah, because then Draymond's shooting too much.
Exactly.
And all these other dudes are shooting too much.
And it's Pajemski, you need to step up on the road, right? It's Moody, you need to step up on the road. I just don't trust those guys in a Game 7 against a very good defensive team to be able to do that.
You want to join us over on VSiN Pro? You've already maybe dipped your toe in and you tried out that $9.99 trial run. Well, how about joining us for a whole year plus 2 months? Yes, 14 months. $199 over at VSiN.com/subscribe. So not only do you get the daily plays, but you get every one of the betting guides. You get the betting splits. You get the video access as well. Everything coming to you for 14 months for $199. Find that over at VSiN.com/subscribe.
Welcome back to Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Ready, Set, Bet here on VSiN. Matt Brown and Mike Somich on a Sunday. You got about 45 minutes left with us, so thanks for being here as we watch some of the bets are looking better.
Yeah. We got there's some positives, there's some negatives, there's some sweats.
There's some sweats going on. Hopefully you weren't on the Yankees because it's 5-0 Rays with the bases loaded in the top of the fourth right now. Will Warren, I guess he didn't get helped out by his defense. They have had 2 errors through 3 2/3 for him. So
he's also walked 3 dudes in 3 2/3 and given up 7 hits. Yeah. So I'm going to say it's on him a little bit too.
Yeah, we're not going to see much more of him too because he's already at 84 pitches. So Will Warren's day going to be done. Taj Bradley, an interesting guy for this Rays team coming into the season. Varying opinions on Bradley and how he was going to perform. 3 innings so far, only 2 hits given up. He has walked a couple and only struck out 1, but fairly efficient, 50 pitches through those 3 innings. And so, Mike, you look here and I think with the Rays, you just always kind of look back at that starting pitching and you just say, I think they're just always going to hang around. Now, they're a few games under 500 right now, but you just kind of look at that starting pitching and you say, you know, if Bradley kind of rights the ship, we see Littell have a pretty decent day yesterday. Shane Baz has been okay so far this year as well. Pepio's always a dude. Rasmussen. I mean, they've got all these guys that are above average pitchers, right? There's no just like, oh, that guy's a gas can.
You're right. And a lot of times you see this specific lineup or this specific team as well have these pitchers pitch above expectation. So you got to like the coaching staff down there and what they've been able to do with not a ton of money in Tampa Bay. To me, the pitching has to be better though. If they want to really turn it around, you need Bradley to be better. You need Baz to be a Cy Young level guy, which is what people were talking about coming into the season, and they just haven't lived up to those expectations.
Guys, we do a free newsletter here. So if you go over and you subscribe, over on vsin.com. Newsletter comes to your inbox every single day, absolutely free. And in that, sometimes there's some free plays that are given away in there. And usually on Sundays, you can find Steve McAdam's NASCAR projections. He runs a simulator on that. And with that, his top 5 in this particular race: Larson, Byron, Cindric, Blaney, and Hochevar. All right. His underdogs to consider: Hochevar, Cindric, Gibbs, McDowell, Berry, and Gragson. And then his favorites to struggle, so some guys that have short numbers that didn't do too well inside his simulations, were Bell, Elliott, Logano, and Busch. But according to his sims, Larson won the most amount of times, then Byron, Cindric, Blaney, and Hochevar.
Must be a super speedway if Cindric's on there. I've noticed that as we've gone through this process. Okay. Cindric did win last week.
That got home. Yeah.
13 and a half to 1. Feels like a Byron week to me.
Oh, yeah.
Just feels like a Byron week.
Okay. Well, then let's get it. Let's get it.
Let's see what the number is.
Let's get it in the. I'm actually going right now. What do we think? It can't be
8.
Like Larson's plus 285, Byron's plus 550.
Yeah.
That's
a little short. That's a little short.
Come on, do we have okay? So it's Larson, Byron, Cindric, Blaney, and Hochevar. We'll see here.
Hochevar's got to be a number, right?
Cindric is 16. Hochevar is 18. What was the other one? Blaney. Where's Blaney at? 8.
Yeah.
So I guess we're Hochevar fans today, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to throw that in there.
Let's get us a Carson Hochevar hat.
There we go. Let's do it. Carson Hochevar.
Hey.
Who even knew?
Who knew
that he was even a fella? Okay, as you mentioned, we do have one more basketball game that is today, and that is Indiana Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers. That is 8.5. Yeah, across the board. 8.5 across the board in favor of Cleveland at home. 229.5 is also across the board. So there we go. Agreement at all of the books right now, Mike. 8.5 and 229.5.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I don't think this series is as open and shut as everyone is saying with the Cavs being able to win it. I think the Pacers are going to be a little bit frisky here. This opened 7.5. We've seen the Cavs get bet out to that 8.5 number. Total was opened to 226.5. That's gone up a little bit, 3 points to 229.5. The Pacers do play very quickly, so I'd expect an up and down type game here. I kind of like the Pacers plus the points here, Matt. I think that they're able to keep this series a lot closer than what we have seen, what the expectations are in the market. Halliburton has been absolutely phenomenal through the second half of the season. He was awesome in the first round. This is a Pacers team that I think is clicking at the right time, a little bit underrated.
It is minus 425 on the series line for the Cavs. It is plus 330 on the series line for the Pacers. Is there any part of you, any piece of you that looks at that plus 330 and says,
No, I don't think it's high enough, but it does. Yeah. One thing I like to look at when you look in the series markets and you go to total games, you're going to get over or under 5.5. When you have these larger spreaded series, right? When you have the minus 400s, the minus 500s, you can get over 5.5 games in this series at minus 115. Mm-hmm. I think that's a little bit interesting. That's how I would attack my feelings about this Pacers team versus taking them to win the series outright. I realized a lot different number, but you also need them to just win 2 games to be able to cash that ticket.
Yeah. Does this feel like this doesn't feel like a 7-gamer to you, though?
No, I think this is most likely Cavs in 6.
Okay, Cavs in 6. If you just bet exactly 6 games, it doesn't even have to be Cavs. It could be the Pacers. Just 6 games and you're plus 270.
Plus 270?
Yeah. Just for 6 games could be either team.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You look Cavs minus 1.5 games is minus 170 too. That would be the 4-2 win. So yeah, 6 games I think is interesting there at that price.
Yeah, it's I just don't want to step in front of this Cavs team. It seems like every time I have any sort of doubts about them, they just prove me wrong over and over and over again. So many different ways for them to get at you. I really like this roster construction and what they've done with this squad. I don't want to get in front of them. I kind of even want to bet like the gentleman sweep type deal at the plus 240 at the 5 games.
Okay.
Like I think they get it done and get it done handily.
Yeah. I mean, you can get Cavs win 4-1 at plus 285 right now. That's pretty good.
Maybe they can lose this first one and come back in on them.
See, that would be interesting to me as well. I think you're going to get a good effort from the Pacers. I like them plus the 8.5.
Because I think that would be ideal. That'd be like an ideal situation.
Yeah, when you get obviously, if Indiana wins one on the road, you're going to get a much better number for the series, especially if it's the first.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what is the path to victory here for the Pacers in this series because, I mean, it does seem like you're outmanned in just about every aspect. So I just don't know. Do you just have to have the Cavs just completely run bad? Like, do they just have to be on the wrong side of variance over and over? They're losing every 50-50 ball. They're not getting to the line, like all the different stuff like that.
You need to wear them down. You need your pace to make a big difference. And that over the 7 games, if you're able to get it that far, 6 games that you start to take over fourth quarters because you were just tiring out a Cavs team that, I do like the depth that you have when you're looking at the Pacers. Like, you can go 6, 7, you can go 8, 9 deep even with this team if you have to. And that, to me, is the differentiator between them and Cleveland if you're looking at a longer series. But you need to get to that point if you're the Pacers.
Yeah, it is. It's a deal for me where I kept going all season long trying to wait on this Cavs team to fall off. Like, it just seemed like, okay, they can't run this hot for the entire season, and they just did.
Yeah. Well,
so I think I was just wrong.
What about looking at like Cavs to win the East?
I think they can go toe to toe with the Celtics.
I do too. And like, what will that series price be? Celtics minus 140.
Right, you get a better number than that now.
I mean, so if you're betting the Cavs to win the East, last time I looked, it was like plus 175, somewhere in that range.
Right.
I would rather take, like, instead of betting Cavs to win this series, I would rather just take Cavs to win the East and get the better number against Boston.
Let's see, conference winner plus 170 Cavs. To win the East.
Yeah, I'd rather get the plus 170 than lay 500 in this series.
Yeah. It's a good way to look at it. Okay, so over on the hockey side of things, let's just remind people that weren't with us at the top of the show. St. Louis, Winnipeg going down 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. You do have a bet here in this one.
I do. Let's go Blues, baby. Tonight is the night. We've had every single home team win the first 6 games of this series. We're playing in Winnipeg. That's obviously a problem. But the pricing to me in this game specifically doesn't make a ton of sense. If you go back and you look at Game 5, Winnipeg, who had Mark Scheifele at the time and had 3 days off, or 2 days off between games, so Hellebuck had a little more time to kind of mentally get right after being pulled twice in St. Louis. They were listed around 175, 180. You look now and they're at 164 right currently. This was actually higher. It was as high as 175 earlier today. I just don't understand why this line hasn't moved more. Mark Scheifele is the best player, best skater for the Winnipeg Jets. And you have Hellebuck, who is going to win the Vezina, is up for the Hart Trophy for NHL MVP, has been pulled 3 times in this series, mentally going into the most pressure-packed game. You got to wonder where his head's at. And you go to the other crease, it's Jordan Binnington, who has a 0.82 goals against average in Game 7s. He is 3 for 3 in elimination/gold medal games. He won a Game 7 in Stanley Cup Finals in Boston. That is a much tougher place to play than in Winnipeg here tonight. The crowd's going to be crazy, but I do think there's going to be some nervous energy. I just disagree with the price. I think the Blues should be plus 120, plus 125, not plus 150.
Hopefully you already signed up and were a part of everything that happened yesterday here. But if you did not, just a reminder for our friends at First Bet is where you need to go to bet your horses, 1stbet.com. And when you go in there, use promo code VEASAN200. That's going to give you a 20% rebate on all your wagers for the first 60 days, up to $200. Remember, this is Santa Anita. This is Gulfstream. This is every single place across this great country of ours and even international. So firstbet.com, 1stbet.com, VEASAN200 your promo code, 20% rebate, all your wagers for the first 60 days, up to $200.
Welcome back to Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Ready, Set, Bet here on VSiN. Matt Brown, Mike Somich, and Jacob deGrom had a little rough third inning there.
Yeah, not happy about that.
Not great. They kept fouling ball. They frustrated him. They were having really, I'll admit, they were having really good at bats against him. Like they had really good at bats against him and end up with a couple of walks, which ended up pushing a run across.
Yeah, that was the frustrating part. It's just like the steal, infield single, walk, and then like a grounder that gets through, and all of a sudden it's 1-0. You're like, come on, they ground out to second, can't turn the double play. Frustrating, especially when you have the team total under, and you're like, oh, we're at 0 through 2 innings. Should be pretty good here. No, deGrom, no bueno, buddy.
6-3 Cardinals over the Mets in the 7th inning. 5-5 Royals and Orioles. They're just trading runs over there in that one. Twins get to the Red Sox 3-3 in this one. You showed me where Garrett Crochet
Oh.
Took a line drive to the face.
To the nose.
To the nose, even.
It was like a shot, too. It was a hard hit line drive up the middle to the nose. Dude just rubs his nose, pitches to the next batter.
Yeah.
No problem.
Good for him. 4-0 Padres over the Pirates in the 7th inning. Rays still at 5-0 on the Yankees. Guardians 4-3 over the Blue Jays, middle of the 6th inning there.
Should I start worrying? I need 1 to push, 2 to win.
Yeah.
Should I start worrying?
Nah.
No, not
we'll
yet.
Get there.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Not in sweat territory yet.
2-2 A's and the Marlins in the bottom of the 7th. Diamondbacks, Phillies 7-1.
Yeah.
In the 4th inning.
What was the total that you wanted to bet there?
Yeah, I know. 8.5. Yeah.
8.5 over.
I didn't get there. 0-0 Cubs and the Brewers. Astros still 2-0 over the White Sox. Rangers.
Yeah.
Got it done here 2-1 over the in the bottom of the 3rd against the Mariners. We'll keep you updated here on things as we move forward. By the way, Bryson DeChambeau got the win over on Live in Korea. It is his first win. It's a dude that's been always at the top of these leaderboards, but he just hadn't won it. I didn't realize he had not won on Live in a couple of years, but
wow.
But did hold on, and so DeChambeau gets the win over there in Korea, which look,
good for him, man.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Has anyone had a bigger turnaround from a Q rating perspective than DeChambeau?
Absolutely not.
Just phenomenal what he's been able to do with his image with his YouTube videos and everything.
As we said, the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, there was no real need to update that before this thing got going. And so Scotty Scheffler just wanted to go ahead and let everybody really realize he's 4 under through 7. He is sitting 27 under.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. He's going to approach 30.
That's crazy.
He's going to
approach. Heck of a weekend.
Yeah. He's going to approach 30 under here for this tournament, reminding everybody that it's like, dude, okay. Yeah, I wasn't winning. I was in the top 5 every week. I mean, he's already had a phenomenal season for most golfers. But because he won so much last year, we were going,
what's going on, man?
Yet.
Yeah, come
What's
on.
the problem? You can't win. Well, one person wins a golf tournament.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah. And there's 80 that are out there.
Yeah. Well, on the small events, 150 in some of these other ones, and it's just dude's really, really good. He is going to run away. Oh my God. That's with a bogey on the card.
Must be nice.
That's with a bogey.
If you could,
he birdied 5 of the first 7.
If you could be awesome at one thing, would it be golf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, wouldn't it be just the greatest thing to walk out there? You play this thing that you have no worry about getting CTE.
Yeah.
You can play it until you can play it competitively into your late 40s. You can play, if you go to the senior tour, into your 60s.
You also get to just travel around playing on awesome courses in great weather usually. Yeah. Oh, look, it's the winter. Guess I'll go to Hawaii and play down there. Then we're going to go through Florida and Arizona. Just what
you don't see because, they're not contracts and his winnings, but Roy's made $450 million on tour. Scotty's already made close to 200, and he only got good 3 years ago.
Well, that's the thing. The purses in these tournaments now are just so astronomical.
And then you factor in the sponsorship stuff that they get with all of these things, and you make ridiculously good money. You fly private everywhere. You play golf
for a living.
Yeah. We're going to go pay money to play golf.
You
later.
also
we
get
don't
to be
paid
awesome at golf.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. I'm not awesome at golf.
Yeah.
And it's really fun when I'm playing well.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how fun it would be when you're I could just go out on a Muni and shoot 58.
So stupid good. So when we were having the conversation before the season, I wanted to bring this up. We were okay, is there any reason to put stupid money into the NL MVP market? Because it's just going to be Shohei Ohtani. What are we doing? Let's not be idiots. Then you see what Kyle Tucker's doing. Yep. You see what Fernando Tatis is doing. And you see what Corbin Carroll is doing. To a lesser extent, Pete Alonso, but he's mashing. Are we positive it's just going to be Shohei?
No, I don't think we are. At this point, it's still, he should be the favorite.
5-1 on Tatis is very interesting to me. Well, because he's doing it all.
He is doing it all. But I have more concerns around that Padres team long term. To me, it's Tucker.
Yeah.
That's the one. If I'm looking at anybody, because this Cubs offense, if you haven't gotten the memo, they're legit, man. And he's sitting there plus 350. So the price is a little bit shorter than necessarily what you want to attack. But at the same time, he's pretty good. I don't think it's crazy to put a Juan Soto ticket in at 16-1 either. Because if it's not Ohtani and you look at this list and you say, who could just go off in a major market for a team that has a chance at being competitive in a division that I didn't think that they would be all that competitive in because of what we've seen from the Braves early on in the season, I wouldn't be shocked if Soto really heats up and all of a sudden that 16-1 is sub 8-1.
Corbin Carroll is also super interesting to me. Like hitting at the top of a lineup of a team that's pretty good, got some dudes around him. He's got 9 homers already. He's knocked in 23. He steals bases. He scores runs. He's going to have a very well-rounded, I'll put it that way, like stat profile when this is all said and done.
He is, but the problem for me with Corbin Carroll is the MASH numbers aren't there, right? The home run RBI numbers aren't there that are sexy numbers from a MVP voting perspective. He is going to be one of those guys who does a little bit of everything, but I get concerned when I don't have those numbers and I'm playing someone for MVP because, again, this is an award that's voted on, and people do gravitate toward the power numbers.
He's probably going to score 120 runs, as if he stays healthy, right?
Yeah, obviously. All of this if they stay healthy, right?
Like, he's probably going to score 120 runs. He's probably going to approach 30 homers. He might not get there, but he's 26, 27, 28, 29, something like that. He's going to have 30 doubles. He's probably going to have 10 triples, if not 12 triples.
Yeah, people don't care about doubles and triples
to go along with 30 stolen bases. Right?
If he goes 30-30, 120-120, or 30-30, 120-100, I think he's in the conversation. But that's a very difficult stat line to pull off.
Yeah. And then on the Tatis side of things, and the reason why he is just interesting, I mean, I think it's fair for you to say, the lineup, they will get Cronenworth back and they would whatever, but I think it's fair. But kind of the same deal with him, right? Like, I mean, we're looking at a guy that currently, he's already scored 26 runs. That's nearly a run a game. He's played 31 games, scored 26 runs, right? I mean, he's going to score 120 runs. He's going to steal. I mean, he's already stolen 8 bases, so he's probably going to steal you 25, 30 bases. Mm-hmm. He's got the 8 homers, which means he's going to approach 30 as well. It's one of those things where I think we were so just convinced that even if Ohtani took a step back, it's like, oh, okay, well then it's going to be 45-45.
Right.
Or whatever.
He's still going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. But it hasn't been the case so far. And that's not to say that he can't still just go on a ridiculous run. He certainly can. He's the best player on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Ohtani has 35 runs, 8 home runs, but only 11 RBIs. Mm-hmm. So you've got that RBI number that is way down, 9 stolen bases so far this season. So he's still going to go 30-30 at least, right?
But it's kind of like he's on pace, though, with these other guys.
Right.
As opposed to lapping them.
Exactly, yes. And the RBIs is concerning. 11 is not high at this point in the season. His teammate, Toscar Hernandez, has 33, and he's got 11.
Yeah. So, again, he should be the favorite, and I think that's fair. But I just wanted to bring up the conversation because, Corbin Carroll's 650 in the market out there. If you wanted to go his direction, at least at FanDuel, and Tatis about 5-1. We didn't even mention Alonso. What Tucker's doing is amazing. I was under the impression that this was going to be open, shut, whatever. It's a formality.
2 months in, we're staring at minus 300.
Yeah. Formality that is going to go to Shohei. Now, this could shift a lot if they do actually get him back in the rotation. But even if they do, he's only going to pitch they're going to go 6-man rotation for sure. Mm-hmm. And, they don't have a pressing need to get him back in there right now. So I don't know if they rush him back for any reason. I don't know. I think there is a world that exists that
it's worth the conversation.
Yeah.
Especially with some of the
these guys.
Yeah.
One of these other guys might actually be able to pull it off.
Do you take Shohei at plus 220 and then see if he gets hot and then try and create a portfolio around it? Or is that not big enough number? If I told you it was plus 220 2 months into the season.
It's $250 at FanDuel right now.
Okay. If I told you $250 a month and a half into the season, you've been like, it's kind of a good price on Shohei.
Pretty decent price on him. You could start building portfolios, specifically if you like some of these longer ones. Like Corbin Carroll, like I said, 6.5.
Yeah.
Out there at one. If you like Soto, you said 16. I think these are all bettable.
Welcome back to Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Final segment, Ready, Set, Bet here on VSiN on a Sunday. Thanks for spending the last 3 hours with us here as we get a little sweaty in some of these games that we're watching. Yeah, this Mets team continues to put runners on, just is not getting them across. So
that's okay.
Don't know if I guess I got two chances left.
Man on first, no outs, top of the 8th. We need 2. Maybe just a little.
Yeah,
take it out, O'Neill.
That'd be
McNeil.
Yeah, that'd be good. Royals and Orioles. This game, I kind of wish we would have been watching this one. Actually,
that's fun.
Yeah, I mean, this game
back
just every time we look up, just more runs here in this one. So the Royals have scored in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th innings here in this one. Michael Garcia, 2 homers for him in this one. India has a homer. Witt has a homer. Pasquantino has a homer. So 5 bombs for the Royals there in that one. 2 both coming from Jackson Holiday for the Orioles. 7-5 there, middle of the 7th.
3 for the Orioles. Don't shortchange my boy Cedric Mullins. He went yard too.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Oh, and O'Hearn as well. So 4.
So if you
9 homer game.
If you played some same game parlays with home runs in the Royals Orioles, you are doing good today.
Hopefully you were all over this one in DFS if you were playing DFS today, because 9 homers in this game combined between these two teams. No, it's only the 7th, middle of the 7th.
Yeah.
Some other chances to come. Let's see. 5-0 Tampa still over the Yankees. 4-0 San Diego over Pittsburgh. 4-3 still Cleveland there. And Toronto 2-2 the A's and the Marlins. We did get over that total already in the Diamondbacks and Phillies. Is it 7-2 there? Oh, what are we happy about?
Astros just hit a home run, laying the half run first 5, now up 4-0 in the top of the 5th.
Hey, there we go. That's looking good. The Rangers went for a 6th spot against this Mariners team. So 6-1. It's going to be sweaty here on DeGrom. He is right on the borderline. 76 pitches.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It feels like it's one more inning.
Yeah, it's right on the borderline there for that one. Have to be some really quick stuff for him. Really weird stat line for DeGrom, actually. Only 2 walks and only 1 K. But up at 76 pitches, we were kind of talking about, they've been fouling him off.
Yeah, a lot of battling.
Left and right. I mean, you think when you see a pitch total that high through 4 innings, he must have walked. No, he walked 2 people. A ton of Ks then. No, 1 K.
Yeah. The second inning specifically, just in the 3rd, a lot of full counts, a lot of foul balls, and just. Yeah,
guys were battling him. Yeah, battling him a ton today over there in this one. But hey, whatever, outside chance.
Yeah. Yeah,
3 first pitch ground outs.
Better than my Mariners team total under a half, which is our loss because that's stinking 3rd inning.
Still 0-0 in the Cubs and the Brewers there over there in that one. So, Mike, let's get to our best bets here for the day. And of course, as always, our best bets are brought to you by G-Bank. And so let's go to the heart. Let's start over on the NBA side of things, because we have kind of the same interest in this one, though you have the series bet. So there's no reason for you to bet Houston tonight. I did lay the 2.5 with Houston. Feel really good about this Rockets team. Like we said, we're breaking this thing down. I think I've got more outs with this team than I'm getting with Golden State. I think you sell out here to stop Steph Curry. I know easier said than done. He's a magician. He might just start shooting from half court. That's the other problem with him. It's like most of these dudes, it's like you can play this like zone defense where you kind of like stand out about around the 3-point line and make sure they don't get off open 3. Steph will just keep moving backwards. Mm-hmm. Like he might.
Like, oh, you want me to shoot from 30 feet?
Yeah,
fine.
We might be looking up and he's just shooting from 8 feet behind 3 every single time. And if that's the case, then if he's making them, well, no good for me. But I think, slow down Steph. More outs for this Houston team. So I did lay the 2.5. Do like the Rockets tonight.
Yeah, I like the Rockets as well. I bet them for the series at plus, I think it was 156, somewhere in that range. I have them to win the Western Conference at 30-1. So I'll be rooting for the Rockets tonight. I don't need to put more on the line here in a Game 7. It's the depth of the Warriors that I'm concerned about. Game 7 on the road, your 3rd leading scorer is Podziemski. Your 4th is Moody. Your 5th is Pat Spencer. Like, Kuminga has been basically banished at one point toward the end of the season. He's now your 6th leading scorer in this series. I just don't trust you're going to get the contribution you need from the role players. And I agree with you. The Rockets have more outs to win this game. It's just that simple. So I would lay it with the Rockets here, but I'm not going to. We do have a Game 7 from the ice as well. My St. Louis Blues will be taking on the Winnipeg Jets in what I think is going to be a phenomenal hockey game. We've seen the under absolutely get pounded. This opened at 5.5. It was 5.5 under minus 180. We saw it move to 5 in some books. I'm almost tempted to play the over because of how ridiculous this has gotten here. Matt just almost kicked me in the face because the Mets hit a 2-run single, so his team total gets over there.
That was sweaty, boy, let me tell you.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything. Bases loaded, 2 outs after they almost ground into a double play. But you got it home.
Francisco Lindor, thank you for that. Getting the run across.
Send him some chocolates.
Yeah, there we go.
So I think this is a great setup for the Blues. They're the same price as they were in Game 5 when Mark Scheifele was playing and when Connor Hellebuck hadn't been pulled for the 3rd time in the series. To me, this should be a situation where the Blues are in that plus 125, plus 130 range. But if you look up, you can go find a nice number here at plus 150 out there. So give me the Blues on the money line. Laid the game and a half with the Canes here. I think they take care of business pretty quickly in the second round of the Washington Capitals. We got 2 horse races, and Matt,
we're heading to Aqueduct.
You got to get your account open now.
Aqueduct.
We are 5 minutes away from the 7th at Aqueduct. It's Belmont at the Big A. That's what you'll find it in your ADW. So if you head over to firstbet.com, you VEASAN promo code VEASAN200 to get $200 back.
Yeah, we got to throw this in here, buddy.
Race number 7, the number 6 horse, socially selective. This race has 5 speed horses. It has 1 stalker. The 1 stalker is the 6 horse, socially selective. Second off the layoff, I think takes a step forward here for Bill Mott and Junior Alvarado. Congratulations to both of them on winning the Kentucky Derby yesterday. I appreciate it. 6-1 right now on socially selective on the board, so you're getting every bit of that price. Race number 8, number 1, Grayosh, 3-1 on the morning line. It's a Chad Brown trained horse who I think has a beautiful setup breaking from the rail. Should be able to get the job done here. Is the favorite. I'm not sure we get 3-1. That price might get bet down. Look at the double pools here. And it's going to get bet down. You're going to probably get closer to the 8-5 range. I still think that is playable. I think this horse should be closer to 6-5. So happy to have Grayosh in the account as well in the 8th race from Belmont at the Big A.
No Mo Candy.
Yep, that was one of them.
Dynamic pricing. Now I got to throw another one in there with Grayosh. Who else? I want a longer one.
You want a long? Okay.
Yeah, in case. Let's get a payday in this thing.
Spaladay would probably be the price that I like the most.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, yeah. Right, I think Raquia is going to cause some trouble for you, but that's okay. Can't play them all. Yeah, you literally cannot.
No, you literally. Yes,
you can play them all. You can. It just doesn't end well usually.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. Boom, got him in the account. Feeling really good, dude. Feeling really good about that now.
You have more.
Especially thank you to Francisco Lindor.
You have more random bets. We didn't even get to your Max Verstappen.
Oh yes.
Miami F1 bet.
Well, that's not really my bet.
That's true. Rod came on. Rod killed it for us.
Yes. So everybody, just to give some props out there to our guest a little bit earlier in Rod, he said he's going with Max Verstappen to win. He is going with Kimi. Oh, I forgot the last name already.
It's not Villarreal.
No, it's Kimi Andreas.
I think that's right.
Or something.
Yeah. Well, no.
Is to make the podium anyway for a top 3 finish as well. Isaac Hadger. Antonelli. There we go. As a podium finish. And Isaac Hadger for a top 10. Yeah, you can bet top 10s in these as well. And then also fastest pit stop for the Ferrari.
It's amazing how much these markets have grown.
Yes.
Like you can just bet almost anything in these races now.
Yeah, so fastest pit stop for that. So, again, that also given out here over the course of the show. So, guys, as we do every single show, brought to you by G-Bank. Visa Signature Card, go get one today. Most of these cards treat sports books and gaming transactions as cash advances. You are not doing that with the G-Bank. No, it's going to save you 3 to 5% on cash advance fees on gaming transactions right off the top. Go in. Take it back. What did you get another? Did you win something else?
Twins Red Sox overhit.
You just right 5 in the middle.
5-4.
Look, see right in the middle of the best bets read, which is great. See, this is why we do this. And look at that, G-Bank. We're getting a best bet home in the middle of your read right here. So 1% cashback rewards on all eligible sportsbooks and gaming transactions. 2% cashback rewards on all eligible other purchases. Apply at VSIN.com/G-Bank. That's VSIN.com/GBANK. Wow, we get a couple home here just right at the last, right under the wire.
Kind of nice. Yeah. Kind of nice.
Right under the wire. Feeling good about that, man. We had a fun day here, but honestly, I know I didn't give you all of your proper your proper roses and all the stuff like that yesterday. You made a lot of people's day with everything that went on over at the Kentucky Derby. I'm glad that listen, sometimes here's the deal. Chalk is good sometimes, like chalk is good sometimes. And especially, when you look and you're like, no, this is good chalk.
Yeah.
This is good chalk.
Well, also They weren't all chalk.
Yeah.
Because Sandman was the second choice. Yeah. Luxor Cafe went off at 8-1. You had Baeza, who ran third, was 13-1. They were the three best horses, but because it was the Kentucky Derby, they were not bet in that manner, which is crazy. Because if you listen to a lot of people, and it wasn't just me, it was very not difficult to get to 18, 8, 21 as a trifecta. The three that took a little bit of handicapping skill.
The three didn't make it into the superfecta for me, unfortunately. It's okay.
It's not like you had an expert on your show who, literally put the numbers on the thing.
It didn't work in the app, all right? I'm blaming the app.
I don't know if you can blame the app. I mean, this is coming from the guy who bet a NASCAR season bet instead of a NASCAR race bet.
We had fun today. We're about to go hit the golf course. We'll let you know how that ends up next week. Stay tuned. We got Live Bet Sunday coming up.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.